1928, a small village known as Tree Hollow lay nestled within the thick embrace of an ancient forest. The townsfolk lived simple lives, farming and trading among themselves, but the whispers of evil forces lingered in the air, woven into the very fabric of their existence. Children played near the edge of the woods, their laughter mingling with the eerie rustle of leaves that seemed to murmur warnings of forbidden things that lurked beyond the trees. As night fell, the village transformed. The moon cast ghostly shadows that danced upon the cobbled streets, and the villagers locked their doors, casting desperate glances towards the ominous forest. For generations, they spoke in hushed tones of the dark entities that ruled the woods, beings who fed on fear, who thrived in darkness. Among the villagers lived a curious boy named Thomas. His bright green eyes belied a hint of mischief, and while other children were warned to stay away from the forest, Thomas felt an irresistible pull towards its depths. He often listened to the old tales told by the village elders, who spoke of a portal that connected their world to an ancient realm, a place where shadows had a life of their own. One fateful evening, Thomas, his curiosity overpowering his fear, decided to venture into the forest, armed only with a flickering candle and a courage that seemed to betray him. The deeper he went, the thicker the air became, heavy with an oppressive darkness that seemed to swallow his small light. Branches twisted like gnarled fingers overhead, clawing at his hair. He could hear soft whispers, almost like a song, beckoning him to continue. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath him, and with a blinding flash, the darkness materialized into forms, shadows that morphed into twisted creatures with hollow eyes and elongated limbs. They surrounded Thomas, their whispers turning into agonized wails as they reached for him. In that moment, realization struck. They fed on the essence of lively spirits like his. Desperately, Thomas remembered the words of the village sage, who had once said, "In the presence of darkness, one must shine brighter." Gathering all his strength, Thomas held up the candle, illuminating the creatures with its flickering flame. The shadows recoiled, hissing in agony as the light pushed them back, revealing hints of their true form, lost souls, forever trapped in their twisted existence. For a brief instant, Thomas saw faces within the shadows, pale and desperate. They were the lost villagers from generations past, consumed by the evil that resided in the forest. Realizing they were victims too, he felt a rush of compassion and whispered words of hope, encouraging them to let go of their despair. The shadows paused, and in the stillness, Thomas saw them hesitate. Perhaps they were not purely evil but had been turned by the darkness that had claimed them. As he held the candle higher, he concentrated on the warmth of hope and healing, channeling that energy towards the trapped souls. The darkness quivered, and slowly, one by one, the shadows began to break away from their haunting forms, drifting towards the light. As dawn approached, the last remnants of the darkness faded, leaving the forest eerily silent. The sun began to rise, casting golden rays through the trees. Thomas emerged from the woods, transformed. Though he had been terrified, he had also unshackled the despair that had bound the lost souls for centuries. The villagers of Tree Hollow awoke to a profound sense of peace, and though they wondered about the boy's adventure, they felt the air was lighter, the whispers of evil reduced to mere echoes of the past. Thomas, the boy who ventured into the darkness and returned with light, became a living legend in Tree Hollow, a reminder that even evil could be confronted, and hope could shine through the deepest gloom.
All right, that's the town of Tree Hollow. That was in 1428. Now you're in modern times. The woods and the town of Tree Hollow is becoming weird and more dark and mysterious. I hope your heroes are up to the challenge to solve and to stop the evil in Tree Hollow.